Here we have a game between America's finest. At least in the bottom left we have Neeb, playing for Team Ting. And at the top right we have Scarlett, who is Canada's finest, I guess. Part of North America, will count it as America's finest. Okay, the sound was already on, but I'm not hearing these guys mine at all. Oh, there we go. Some nice sounds coming out. Neeb versus Scarlett, a classic in the North American DreamHack Masters tournaments that we've been watching for the past year and a half at this point. Very often Neeb is the one that comes out ahead, but Scarlett every now and then shows her dominance and takes out Neeb. This game played on Jagannatha. We see Scarlett straight away going for a forward hatchery. This can have multiple purposes. This can be just a scare Neeb, or it can be for a queen alley. It can also be for something like swarm host with a queen walk. Everything that requires queens to move to the other side of the map is going to love having this forward hatchery. Get that creep spread out on the map a lot faster. So I'm curious to see what Scarlett decides to do with this. Neeb, as always, tries his absolute best with this probe. Very good probe micro in general, Neeb. It's quite fast as well, I think. At least precise. I remember one of the first times I ever truly got impressed watching someone. Okay, now this happened multiple times. So I think the first time was WESG in, I think it was 2016 I went, or 2017, I can't remember. Standing behind TY and Maru, especially behind Maru, was just crazy. And just watching him play, the precision and the pure speed that he has is... It was something I had never seen quite like that before. And I stood behind a lot of people in my life, mainly foreigners, of course. But I remember watching Maru and being absolutely mesmerized. And then I think it was 2017, somewhere at the start of the year, I stood behind Neeb, who was off-racing as a Zerg. And it wasn't even the speed, but it was the absolute precision at which he clicked. No misclicks. Is just so optimal with his selection boxes, and everything he did mechanically looked so insanely smooth, and it just looked so easy. Like the mouse did everything that his brain wanted him to do. And I remember thinking, wow, this is like Maru level. This was the first foreigner I ever saw. And then the next year in 2018, I saw Cyril play, and I hadn't seen Cyril. Like, I knew that Cyril was very good and he was doing well already before that. I think he got second at a DreamHack in 2017 behind Neeb. Neeb, who won every tournament except Valencia that year, where he lost to Elaser. But I remember standing behind Cyril and being, okay, this is peak. The speed, the precision, basically everything that Neeb had, but then just slightly faster. And ever since then, I've watched Rainer and Clem as well, and those guys are very similar to Cyril. That type of level where it's like, man, that's just so crazy. Like, what standing behind these guys is, yeah, it really is a thing of beauty. I absolutely love it. I really do love it. I can't wait to go back to these offline events and just watch other people play. It's one of the many things that I think I really miss. Just watching other people do the things that you do, but doing them slightly different, slightly faster, more precise. It is just so impressive. It really just is. Here we have Neeb opening up with an Oracle. Opened up with, I think this was Warp Gate before Stargate, as this Warp Gate is very far on its way already, and the Oracle is kind of late. Probe goes down. Second probe will just get sent out. It's not the biggest loss. Slight delay perhaps on the Nexus, by about like 6-7 seconds. You see 500, almost 600 minerals. Neeb will decide to not get the minerals from this base before he builds it. Usually you do that. But in this case, he didn't feel like it. Oracle's gonna try to go into the natural. There is a spore on the way there. Well, this is the third base really on the natural location, of course. Here come the two adepts. Are gonna finish up, and these two adepts are just going to straight up die Scarlett quick enough here with the drone micro. Doesn't quite actually build the spore there. Loses two drones in the main as well. So Neeb with an okay opener. Now comes an Oracle from the front. Scarlett slightly out of position. Perhaps Neeb had an opportunity there to slide in. Did not go for it, however. And now the queens will be back in position. We'll be able to push away these Oracles before they get anywhere. Where they can do some damage. Forged Twilight as a follow-up, slightly risky on this map. I have to admit it, Jagannatha, one of the best maps for queen walks, not opening with a fast robo. is a little bit of a surprise for me here. We see gateway 3 and 4 go down very quickly though, so perhaps some safety here for Neeb. If he follows this up with blink and +1, it does feel relatively safe, so I don't even mind it too much. We have 4 worker kills so far on these guys. Robo goes down now. Now this Robo would be too late for a reactionary disruptor, for any type of disruptor defending, well, basically anything. Here comes the stasis ward, is not going to get anything except a single drone. And both of these oracles will be just heading towards the left side. Overlord hasn't been taken out yet, it's been hanging here for a while already. A small cut in workers. Ooh, we have 11 roaches on the way. We are going to be seeing a queen walk here coming out of Scarlett. A lot of gateways are going down for Neeb, and you might think, well, that's great, because the more gateways, the more units he can build. The problem with gateways is that these gateways won't be useful in the upcoming fight. They'll require a lot more time. Yes, this is a good cancel. I don't mind that he tries to get 1 or 2 extra gateways out, but what he needs right now is static defense, and he needs it quickly. Neeb starts 1 battery, 2nd battery. There's 3 sentries out already. Perhaps we can get more sentries. No, not so far. Where are the queens? Queens are walking across the map right now. We have 4 gases finished already for Scarlett. So this is a 4 gas plus layer 7. 6 queens are here. And the ladies have started walking. There's 6 queens only in total as well. That's a really low amount of queens actually. So many Ravagers here though. This battery is gonna get taken out. Immortal gets pushed out of the Robo at the 3rd base. I like that Robo positioning out of Neeb. It's going to be way more useful now that that Immortal isn't split. Scarlett's pushing forward, however, there's nothing in the natural defending here. I think Scarlett is just straight up going to break this natural base. What is there for Neeb to defend? Well, the answer is not a whole lot. 2nd Immortal is about to pop out. More biles raining down on these buildings, and well, Neeb actually is doing an okay job for how bad this looks. There's still no cannons here. It's not going to move out of the biles in time, so these biles get a little bit of damage done. 5 workers have already gone down on the side of Neeb. 2 Immortals, 4 Stalkers on the right side, still trying to fight their little hearts out. With 5 queens still alive, it's going to be so difficult for Neeb to defend this natural. I think this natural is an absolute goner. And now the question is, can Neeb defend his main base? I'm not even sure if the answer there is yes. He can warp in Zealots with +1, which look great against Lynx, but ooh, Scarlett actually decides to go for the 3rd base. I think this might be a small error here. Throws down a couple of biles on top of this battery. Battery doesn't go down. These 3 Immortals are dishing out a lot of damage. The Zealots with +1 are also fighting the good fight here, and I think that Neeb slowly but surely is starting to hold. Blink has finished up, +1 has finished up. Sure, his natural is gone. Sure, Scarlett is up about 15 workers. She's getting +1 already, and she's getting the Glial Reconstitution, but there is a lot of money floating right now for Scarlett, and perhaps Neeb has some counterplay here. What is his gateway count? I think it's 6. No, it's 4. 2 gateways died in the front, of course, so 6 minus 2 is 4. That makes a lot of sense. Once again, math is right, after all. 5 queens are out right now, lots of roaches being produced. I mean, 68 workers. It's not like Scarlett needs more drones at this point. She just wants safety first. And I don't really mind that, because she is up 15 workers already. She is out mining her opponent by about 1,000 minerals a minute, by about 250 gas a minute as well. She just has an extra base mining. Neeb is on 54 workers, but about 10 of these workers are long distance mining, and that's not contributing as much to the Protoss society as these probes at the 3rd base. These probes might not be lazy, but they're just not as efficient because they can't return to a close by nexus. Prism comes out there, as well as the infestation pit and a Hydra then. Okay, Scarlett wants to go into Lurker from here. I'm surprised by that. Very often against these big Stalker compositions, you want to be going into Banelings rather than going into Roach Hydra, because a natural transition out of Stalkers are those disruptors. So really, why would you want to be going into those big units that are difficult to run away from disruptor shots? So far, of course, no disruptors out. Hive on the way, so Viper's potential counter here for the disruptors as well. As the game calms down a little bit. Both players just sitting back. Neeb perhaps just trying to shark on the map a little bit. Wants to start inflicting some damage on the other side. Main base is empty. So right now Neeb is just mining off 2.5 base. He's gonna go for an attack. 80 worker supply here for Scarlett means that her army supply isn't as big as perhaps she would have liked. Neeb is pushing in, no creep on this left side. Ravager count is looking big, and with that ramp to defend, I'm having a difficult time seeing Neeb do anything Except maybe cancel a 5th base here, but even that doesn't come without risk. Scarlett is floating around here with her main army, going off creep to fight this. I'm not quite sure if this is the call. Blink forward out of Neeb gets biled. Good start of the fight for Scarlett so far. Queens assisting with their transfuses. One more big warp in here out of Neeb, who's controlling these stalkers extremely well. Good blink micro out of him. Blinks forward as well. I don't think that was the play. Neeb a little bit too careless there, thinking he could already jump on top of this. I don't think that was the case at all. But Scarlett fighting up this ramp is actually losing a lot of units. Sure, there's 15 roaches in production, but if these queens fall and this army starts to kind of snowball, we have 8 more stalkers on the way. Good control out of Neeb. They're pulling back that stalker. Scarlett losing a lot of DPS there with a lot of roaches. Immortal still in the back, dishing out a lot of damage. Yeah, Neeb is doing this fight very well. +2 is about to finish up, and there's so many reinforcements here for Scarlett that I mean, at some point, Neeb needs to transition out of this. Or he needs to, start moving more aggressively. He's gonna go for a more aggressive move. Immortal goes down, so now these roaches will probably start reigning supreme. Good individual stalker micro though out of Neeb. 63 army supply for Scarlett, 42 for Neeb. Drones are being pulled right now, and drones always very good against these high stalker counts, because stalkers don't deal with drones that well. Simple as that. Good stalker micro. Oh my god, this blink micro is absolutely marvelous. Look at that. Neeb once again going back to this ramp, and Scarlett pushing a little bit forward, perhaps a bit too far. But she says, no, I want to shave off a couple of extra units. But 16 workers have gone down on the side of Scarlett. And all of a sudden it's 63 against 55 with no Vipers on the way. No Disruptors either. Is Neeb going to be going for a 4th base? Yes. He decides it's time for a 4th base. 2nd Robo Bay on the way. Seismic Spines and +3. And this +3 is a big freaking deal, ladies and gentlemen. Once that finishes up, Neeb is going to have a hard time continuing to fight with pure Stalker. He is getting his own +2, and it will be done at the same time as +3. Probably even a little bit faster. Prism moving towards that left side. Scarlett trying to drone back up to a decent drone count. Right now just at 71. Wants to go back up to 85, 86. I think she fought a little too long down here off of creep. Defending nothing really. She could have just defended this ramp initially already. She was a little bit too confident in her position. But she was up 20, 25 workers. 55 against 80. Did she really need to go there? She was stacking into Hive already. She was getting a lurker then. All of these things were going for her. Neeb was the one on the timer, and Scarlett tried defending a position that was so open. Neeb really abused this area as well, forcing Scarlett to chase with big chunks of roaches. Now we have Neeb trying to clear a little bit of creep. I'm going to say a little bit of creep. I mean, the majority on the right side of the map. Neeb wants it gone. And when Neeb wants something gone, he doesn't take half measures, moves out with about, 20 stalkers? 25? 25 stalkers to be exact. 2 Disruptors are on the way already. The problem for Neeb here is going to be a glaringly obvious problem, and that's the fact that he has nothing against these Vipers. And if he has nothing against these Vipers, it means in theory he doesn't even have anything against these Lurkers. Oh, blink forward. If that would have sniped a Viper, it would have been worth it. Right now, didn't do much of anything. Neeb needs to get these Vipers before he can use the Disruptors. Disruptor shots actually connect. I'm surprised by that. You see Scarlett's... Ooh, is this a base trade? Is Neeb... What? What is Neeb doing here? Actually gonna be going for a full-on base trade. And I kinda like it. Scarlett not quite sure what to do. Defensive Disruptors going to hit. One Lurker goes down. Another Lurker gets damaged. Scarlett moving back with a lot of units. There's still 2 Lurkers at home. Vipers are being sent back home as well. Blinding Clouds are being used. And I think that's actually just going to be it, as Scarlett wins this game after a fantastic early game. A solid queen walk, which Neeb just could not defend. This game ends. And so does this video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. And hopefully I'll see you all next time for a new video. Bye bye.